Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video. Hope you guys are all doing well. Today I want to talk about a pretty controversial topic within the Clash Royale scene, and that is champions, and more specifically, the recent balance changes that affected champions. And so, of course, we've had balance changes where all champions no longer offer a 3-card cycle. And this was a very interesting topic of discussion within the Clash Royale space for quite a while, because of course champions revolutionized the game and changed it in a way that a lot of people would not have expected. Because before champions were a thing, 3-card cycle wasn't a thing, of course, and so decks were just kind of on an equal playing field. But now, champions being in the game just resulted in a power imbalance of sorts, because now decks that have champions are at an advantage over decks that don't. And so any deck, I'm sure you guys know the pain and the feeling of, a champion deck just destroying you because you just can't do anything about it, right? And so I feel like this change where champions no longer have 3-card cycle is going to be a beneficial change for the balance of this game. Now, as for the deck I'm playing today, I'm playing this Pigs EQ deck, which is historically one of the most broken champion decks in the game of all time. And I think we're going to take a look at if this deck is still viable, and I'll be playing a bunch of different champion decks today just to see how they do. Goes for a really aggressive clone with that Skelly Barrel. Was not expecting that. I'll just go for an Evo Ice on offense. Try and get a bit more of an offensive presence here. And the Evo Ice does splash the tower. That's going to be so much damage. And I've actually seen some mixed opinions on this, guys. So I feel like overall this is objectively, of course, a nerf to the champions. Because 3-card cycle, let's face it, was extremely broken. Archer Queen, able to place an Archer Queen down with this deck, for example. You go EQ, Log, Ice Spirit, Skeletons, then you're back to the EQ and the Log. Like, that is just some insane spell cycle capabilities that just honestly shouldn't really be in the game. I feel like it's pretty unhealthy, especially if you're not playing a champion deck and you play against someone who's playing this. It's just really broken and kind of unfair. There's almost nothing you can even do. You feel powerless. That is a really, really bad clone. I don't know what that was about. But you just feel powerless against 3-card cycle decks, and so, of course, addressing this imbalance by nerfing the champions is a good thing. But then it also begs the question, was this a net buff in some instances? And I fear that it actually was, because you see decks like Boss Bandit and other spam decks, and those decks just seem even better than ever right now. Let's also get a second queen down, which you can see just feels kind of weird to me. I don't know. Is it just me that feels weirded out by that? The fact that you can have 2 queens on the board at the same time. I'm still not really used to this, guys, honestly. But yeah, I just feel like cards like Boss Bandit and similar ones will definitely benefit more than some others. Like, I think this was, of course, a nerf to stuff like the Golden Knight and the Monk. Although, of course, that there are also subjective matchups where it's different. Like, for example, like with RG Monk, not having a 3-card cycle can hurt you, but against X-Bow, it's actually kind of a good thing, because you can just get a Monk down for every single X-Bow, and it's impossible to outcycle now from the X-Bow side. But, like, for example, with this deck, I think it's a net nerf. But I've heard some people say it's a buff in matchups like Lava Hound, for example, where it might be more tricky to actually defend when you only have one Archer Queen. But now having multiple, of course, just kind of changes things, right? But we'll see if we can defend this. This is going to be an insanely huge push. I think we'll be okay if we just get a nice Log here and the Giant Skelly is not on my tower. And now, okay, see, I'm going to pop my ability, but it's not... Oh my god, my tower's almost dead. But that's not on the queen that I wanted the ability to be on, if that makes sense. Like, I wanted that ability to be on the queen that was attacking. And, like, you don't really have the right to determine whether that's the ability you have or not. Like, it just feels really weird. It feels kind of jank, honestly. I'm going to pop ability here because I do not want to mess around with anything, and I feel like I might take a Sparky shot. No, we don't. Okay, this is actually really intense. I have a new queen down, so I think this ability now will go to my new Archer Queen and not the old one, and I just missed a tower. Let's not talk about that, guys, please. Okay, he does get the clone down, but doesn't really do much. And now I think we can finally go for our first pigs in like 10 years. Those were the most patient pigs I swear I've ever played, because I literally waited so long to get those pigs down, but we do finally get that, I think, on tower, and that should hopefully be EQ Log range. That was an insanely close game, oh my goodness. But as you can see, I feel like 3-card cycle, I would have won the game if I had multiple if I had 3-card cycle there, which I obviously don't anymore, so in this deck, it's kind of a net nerf. And the next deck I'd like to talk about that involves champions and the recent changes to them is actually Hog Rider Earthquake. And Hog Rider Earthquake is an interesting case because Hog EQ kind of existed before champions, but it was definitely propelled by the champions being introduced to the game and being so broken. Like, Hog EQ when Mighty Miner came out was one of the best decks in the entire game, bar none. And now we have the Goblinstein, which, okay, this guy's playing Golem. Gonna be interesting to play Golem after the balances. But now, playing with the Goblinstein, I've actually seen, I was looking at the leaderboard, and this deck is actually like top 5 or something crazy like that after the balance changes, which, again, is crazy to think about because you would think this is a net nerf to champions and, you know, 3-card cycle and all of that stuff. But apparently, Goblinstein is better than ever, and I saw some arguments as to why, because now you can cycle multiple Goblinsteins and get back to multiple abilities. Like right now, we can get a Stein down, and we're back to a second one pretty easily, and this guy is not happy about that. We will protect our Stein Doctor, as we should right now, and we can go for that ability, but I think it's better to maybe go for a counter-pushing Hog instead, if we can get this Stein Doctor to kill that Furnace, maybe. Okay, we can't, but should be all fine. And I don't know, I just feel like cards being net buffed after what's intended to be a nerf is crazy. Like, what do you guys think? Do you guys remember Prime Hog EQ with Goblinstein? How oppressive this deck was? How ridiculous it was? Like, I don't want to see this deck have that same reign of terror again. And I would rather champions just objectively be nerfed. And again, it feels weird because, you know, you think about it, they should objectively be nerfed when you remove the 3-card cycle from them. At the same time, there are just so many considerations that it's kind of hard to think about. Here, I could pop my ability, but I feel like I should be safe and just kind of be chill instead, because I don't want to overcommit too much. And yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it's just a crazy thought, honestly. Let's go for our Hog here. Just want to get some pressure in while he's not back to hit. Mini P.E.K.K.A, and he actually goes for Baby Dragon, maybe predicting me to go for that Firecracker, which I actually was thinking about, but I decided not to. And now we'll just keep our pressure up. He does have a Mini P.E.K.K.A, so I want to protect this Firecracker. And you can see that, like, being able to play my Goblinstein so liberally seems really powerful. Like, I'm just able to spam that card, and it's so good. Like, I can just get back to multiple Steins. Like, I'm never going to get outcycled. I'm always going to have that capability. It just seems really strong. And this guy just, obviously, he's not happy about it. He's just laughing. And it seems so broken, man. Like, I'm worried that champions will still be strong. So, I don't know, are they dead or are they better than ever? That's an interesting question to answer. And I feel like it's not so black and white that they're either that much worse or that much better. Feels like, again, there are definitely trade-offs to every kind of aspect of the balances, and I want to see if I can maybe take out that Furnace, because Evo Furnace is a real pain. As you can see, like, I'm already back to a Goblinstein, and that is just so strong, because you would not be able to get this normally. Like, I'd have to cycle so much harder to get back to another Stein, but that ability just wiped out basically everything, and my Doctor staying alive for that long just gets so much value. Let's get a log, maybe get a Hog hit on the tower. No, we can't, but I mean, you still see the point. I'm just spamming Goblinsteins nonstop. I might even pop one at the river right now because it's pretty good. It's pretty effective. I can probably pop my ability or get a Firecracker down. Okay, he's gonna go for that. I think, yeah, I think we can pop our ability. That's gonna get to the tower, dude, and like, that's just pretty broken. I mean, getting multiple Steins and getting just guaranteed damage, like, that is strong. And now we'll pop a Hog Rider. He's gonna Mini P.E.K.K.A, but I mean, we're basically just keeping him on his toes at all times, right? And I feel like this game is such a good example of these balances, because look at how good this Goblinstein has been in this entire game so far. Like, it's just ridiculous. Let's get a Hog down. Let's pre-Firecracker to maybe hit the tower if possible. That would be nice. We do get a hit on the tower, and we do get our Hog hit, and that's going to be game. And so, as you can see, Goblinstein maybe even better than before, because 3-card cycle wasn't really that big of a factor. I just abused multiple Goblinsteins and got away with it. Alright, and the last deck I'd like to talk about regarding these changes is Royal Giant Monk. And so I feel like RG Monk is a pretty cult deck in the sense that it's never going to die, but it's had its moments where it's meta-defining and broken, and it's definitely had its moments where it's not that good either. So I'll get a Monk down right now, and I don't know, Monk feels weird to me because it's better against, you know, Expo, for example, when you're going to be trying to get outcycled by the Expo player. The Expo player is going to be trying to outcycle you, I guess is a better way to put that. And they're just going to be getting down multiple Expos to outcycle the Monk, outcycle the RG, etc. But now, the fact that you can just get back to a Monk like you would any normal card, it seems pretty strong if you ask me. And I don't know, like RG Monk really never dies, and it might be better than ever right now, considering champions outcycling. But then again, I feel like at a certain level, it's also going to be a net nerf to this deck, because 3-card cycle is a very powerful tool, don't get me wrong. That I'm not saying it's not, it really is, and you can't really take that for granted in many other scenarios, because having the ability to just get back to a card in 3 cards instead of 4 just opens up a whole new realm of possibilities. And I don't know, okay, he gets an Evil Witch down, I'm kind of scared. Like, maybe if I had a Monk ability right here, or have a Monk 3-card cycle here, I could maybe, like, get a Monk down in the back and just get multiple Hunters or stack them down, which is how I'd like to defend this. But in other ideas, I don't know, like, I'm not sure how to use the Monk as effectively now that we don't have that 3-card cycle, I guess. That Night Witch, he's actually not really going to do anything with it, so I think what we can do is maybe we can even go in right now, because yeah, he's going to get that pump down. We have a Fisherman behind this RG technically, and I feel like he's in quite a bit of trouble. Yeah, the Fisherman is still going strong. It's going to whisk away quite a few skeletons, and that's going to be a big-time punish. And as for the deck we're playing against right now, it looks like it is going to be some kind of E-Golem or Brain Dead beatdown deck, and so right here, yeah, there's the E-Golem, of course. I feel like Monk, you know, Monk is a different, interesting discussion. Like, I don't know, I really would like to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments below, because I'm not really sure whether it's going to be a net buff or nerf in different situations, and I feel like there are just going to be different use cases and different examples. So right here, he's going to try and get this dual lane Evo Skelly push. I'm going to just try and make sure I take care of that, and then I need to get a good fireball on defense as well, because that's just way too much swarm spammed on the board. I think we're actually okay if I just protect this right side, because that's a bit of an overwhelm with those Night Witches. But yeah, as you can see, that defense was not that bad, and 3-card cycle didn't really have a significant part to play in it. So I don't know, I feel like Monk is fine, Champions seem fine. Like, I thought Champions would be dead after this change, but it seems like they might even be better than ever in different situations. Would be interested to hear your guys' thoughts.